And to further discuss this matter, we are joined by Steve Mabona, who's the spokesperson for the Department of Education. Thank you so much for joining us here on ANN7 Prime. We appreciate your time. Firstly, I understand that the Gauteng Education MEC, Panyaza Lesufi, has appointed an independent body to investigate allegations against the principal and the management of the school. Can you briefly tell us what this investigation entails and what does it hope to achieve?
Thank you very much. The investigative body that has been appointed will be looking at all allegations that were put on the table, that of no action was taken when these incidents were reported. We need to look at the dates, when was the first time which was reported, and look at any other information that will be assisting them. Because the MEC said if parents want to participate in that process, they can also give us that information. And for the body, hence we've decided that the principal and the management must not be in the school so that that body can be in a position to investigate anything which has to do with this case. They will have to bring it, on board and say, this is what transpired, because that's what we want to hear. And if there's a case for the management and the principal to answer, they should be given that opportunity. If there are disciplinary, there's charges that will be conferred, that investigative body should lead that evidence to say this is what transpired and this is what we think people must be charged with. So that's what they will be doing, because remember, you need to investigate before you can charge people. You can't just say, because that's why we said precautionary. We need to remove them from the school so that they are given an opportunity to also answer for the allegations that would have been leveled against them.
Now, parents have alleged that the school discouraged learners from coming forward with these sexual assault allegations. Is this true?
Look, that will form part of the investigation, because remember, we decided probably 2 days after we had some, allegations. Remember this incident, he was arrested, the perpetrator, on Monday, and we went to the school to visit the management on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we then had these allegations that probably the school management did not do what is expected. And later on Wednesday, the management was then informed that on Thursday they should not report at school. They then reported at the district. And so moving forward, we are giving an opportunity the investigative body to assist us and investigate, and we'll take it from there.
Tell us more about this meeting with management. What transpired there, and what was management's reaction to this?
Look, there was a concession of some sort that there were reports that were not probably taken to the district, and hence we would want to know why was the district not informed on these charges, and why was it kept at school up until probably the arrest, and what role did the SGB play? Hence we've decided that we will then interact with the SGB, put all allegations and ask them why must they not be dissolved, and basing ourselves on all those reasons, then we'll then have to await for the response that will be coming from them to say, as SGB, this is what we are saying. But definitely we'll then have to consider all the reasons that they will put in place.
Talking about this, as you said, the Gauteng Education MEC has said that the school governing body should be dissolved. What were his reasons specifically for this? And I understand that we're waiting for them to respond to the statement made by Panyaza Lesufi.
Look, if incidences like this are happening in your environment and there's nothing that is done, it means you add to the element of making sure that there's no functionality in the school. Because remember, SGB's responsibility is to make sure that there's a functionality at the school. Looking at governance, the entire governance, which will then also go to discipline, code of conduct. They must facilitate a process whereby a school has a code of conduct, participation thereof of parents, of learners in crafting of the code of conduct. So they need to play that role. So if there's ill discipline in that environment and nothing is done, then they are found wanting.
talking about the speculation around when these sexual assaults began, speculation has said since February this year. When did the Department of Education find out about this exactly?
Look, we only knew about when the perpetrator was arrested, which was Monday. So hence I'm saying as a department, we want to go back and say what transpired, when and how did this happen. So hence we've decided that the investigative body will then assist us on that score. So from where we're sitting, there's a lot of action that was supposed to be taken and it wasn't.
Ultimately, many parents are asking who should be held accountable for this. The man is obviously arrested, but do we blame the school governing body? Do we blame the education department? What can you say to those parents who are now worried about their children's safety at school? I mean, this is meant to be a safe learning environment for their children. Here they're dropping them off at school, and I mean, 87 learners have come forward with sexual assault allegations since supposedly February this year. What can you say to parents to encourage them to continue to, have faith in the system?
Look, what must happen, we need to work together as the schooling environment, looking at everyone who's interested in the schooling environment, talking about your SGBs, your parents, learners, educators, and including department officials to say, are we doing enough to implement the safety measure policy that is in place? Because we do have a policy which is empowering us. The principal is the custodian of that policy with a security management team, which that will be represented by an RCL, an SGB member, an educator should be in that committee. But the principal is the custodian, is the leader of that policy. So in the event there's an allegation of sexual assault, the principal must act. When there's weapons in the schooling environment, when there's drugs, when there is some sense of bullying as well, there's a lot that the principal must lead that team and make sure that our learners are safe, because safety of our learners is a priority. Now, all of us as stakeholders, we need to play our role and make sure that we know what is it that we're supposed to be doing. All of us, SGB, must know what is it that they're supposed to be doing. Our officials as well, learners, because they're also represented in that space, they must also know that we must take also responsibility and report this to the authorities. But then if we see that there's nothing that is happening, probably escalate, to the next level. So all of us, we have a role to play as the entire community. And hence we said the appointment of our patrollers, surely we need to come closer to the process, because the Department of Community Safety and the CPF, they are responsible to assist us with this manpower. So we felt that, look, probably we need to go closer and also participate in making sure that probably we close the gap if there is one that we are seeing, so that we don't have wrong people in our environment.
Yet another incident of alleged rape by a scholar patrol has come to light in Pretoria, Magube Valley Secondary School. I'm sure you are aware of it. If you could perhaps elaborate more on this, and should we be more worried about more schools coming out with situations such as this?
Look, it's an incident which MEC spoke about today, that of a 17 years old girl who has been allegedly raped. More information we will then know tomorrow, because we are visiting the school. MEC will be there. The report must be shared to say what transpired when, but we know that the incident occurred on the 30th of September. And there was some probably reluctancy of opening a case, but then we know that there's a case that has been opened now. So we'll get more details when we visit the school tomorrow, and we should be in a position to say this is what we have and this is how we're moving forward.
Well, we will await those details, as well as the investigation taking part at the AB and Huma Primary School. Mr. Steve Mabona, thank you so much for your time here on ANN7 Prime. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming through. Right now, though, it's time for a short break, but before that, your morning weather report. Do stay tuned for more news and updates after this.